Alright everyone, I hope you had a wonderful Easter. I did myself. Great time with the new little one. But I was going over running backs and wide receivers this weekend so I can make this video for you. And it was mind-boggling. The amount of running backs and wide receivers. And then if running back, you look at one, you say, yeah, we can use them, but do we need them? Yeah, we can use them, but do we need them? Yeah, we can use them, but do we need them? Wide receiver is a kind of different situation, but just as mind-boggling as so many wide receivers. But you have a quarterback like Tony Romo, and that's the one thing you get when you have a quarterback that's proficient in the passing game. You can put any receiver over there just about, and you have some decent production. You just got the right type receiver that's fitting what you're trying to do, and pretty much move on. So what I did, I went to one of my favorite sites of over the years for like maybe 10 years or whatever, Walter Football. And Walter Football has a list. It was made, let me find it again here. It was compiled, there it is, by @DraftCampbell. @DraftCampbell. If you want to follow him, I know I'm going to try to. But they've got a list of the people that the Cowboys have had in for a draft pick, for interview and things of that sort. In the Combine, in the Senior Bowl, whenever the Cowboys have spoken to a player, they have it down here. So that's a good barometer on who the Cowboys might get. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think they're going to bring anybody in. I mean, not bring anybody in and then draft them in the early rounds. They did do that with one guy. I know they did that with Morris Claiborne because Mo Clay was dropping and they was like, whoa, we got a chance to get a top corner. Let's go get him. And I don't think he came in for very many interviews, if any at all, because it was a kind of a shocking pick. So on this list, as far as my quarterbacks that I said last video, I guess Teddy Bridgewater's out. They're not gonna, unless we hear Teddy Bridgewater going to Cowboys for an interview, and he is dropping like crazy. I was thinking about, you know, being able to get him as a steal in the first, but man, they're even talking about Bridgewater falling to the second. So keep your eye on that situation. But I don't think we'll draft him because we hadn't talked to him yet. If we talk to him, then he's a possibility. They have Johnny Manziel down here. I don't think we can get him. Manziel's not going to fall, and we're not going to go up. I don't see any player in this draft worth going up to get. I mean, I can see going down clearly, but going up, I can't see anything, and you have to go up to get Manziel. Aaron Murray was on my list also. You can get him at a pretty decent range in mid-draft. Now also, an interesting guy that I saw on this list is Garrett Gilbert from SMU. He's shooting up the draft charts right now. He had a great pro day or whatever, and he can move, and that's the thing about him. You know, people were asking me why I didn't have Zach Mettenberger on my list earlier. I don't believe in statue quarterbacks. I don't believe in statue quarterbacks. I really haven't in a long time, since Drew Bledsoe. And the reason why I was pushing Romo to get Drew Bledsoe out of there, because Romo can move around in the pocket and extend plays that Bledsoe couldn't. Bledsoe had to stare down the blitz and deliver the ball. I don't like quarterbacks like that moving forward in the NFL. I don't see much success from quarterbacks like that in the NFL, because you have to be as good as Peyton Manning not to get killed. You know, people say, oh, you don't want to run the quarterback because they'll get hurt. So will a statue quarterback. I mean, come on. I mean, if you're sitting in the pocket and you're looking, you got to get rid of that ball, and you have to get rid of it accurately or it's going back the other way. You know, so, and if you don't get rid of it, you've got a Clowney coming or a J.J. Watt or somebody coming that's going to clean your clock. So I don't like that. I like quarterbacks that can do both. You know, if you can run, hopefully you can make passes enough to keep the chains moving. You know what I'm saying? So that's the type of quarterback I like moving forward in the NFL. It's about moving the chains. The Seattle Seahawks are a perfect example. The quarterback that has will not knock your socks off with stats and whatever, but he will move the chains and he will make a first down when needed. And that's what the defense needs, to stay their butts on the sidelines, and what the offense needs to hold on to the ball to get into the end zone. Simple as that. Now, as far as running backs, they don't have one running back on the list. It was J.C. Copeland, and he's not really a running back. He's a fullback from LSU. But I really like the guy. I'm like geeking over getting him because he's like a literal monster. You know, and you put him in fullback position, you can put him in short yardage, and he can plow through for a touchdown. I really like J.C. Copeland, so I really hope that's a possibility later in the draft, and we can steal him and somebody else don't. At wide receiver, oh my God, they talked to Mike Evans. Maybe it was because it was a local thing that they talked to Mike Evans, but still, when I'm watching him last year, making all those crazy catches, whatever. In my mind, I was envisioning, oh wow, on passing downs, you got Mike Evans on one end, you got Terrence Williams on the other end, and you put Dez in the slot. Dez will be unstoppable in the slot. Even more, excuse me, he's unstoppable out there. But he will be even more unstoppable in the slot. So I'm like, whoa, Mike Evans. I just don't think that's just too much investment in our wide receivers right now when we have too many other holes on the team, but still very intriguing. And then I also talked to Mike Davis for wide receiver from Texas. So I don't think there's much action with the wide receiver and running back. We'll see in the draft. But next I'll have the offensive line, and that's where we may go. I'm pulling for possibly a first round tackle, because the defensive line can be had later. Deep draft there, but we'll go over the offensive line later. Have a good week. Holla at ya.